Okay, so good morning everyone. We are on the week 12, and then as you notice that December 25th and January 1st, we will have the holiday, right? So I'm just thinking that we will have the final exam is earlier. So let me open the calendar. So, I think this year for the December 25th, we will have holiday, and then January 1st also we have a holiday because it's New Year, and unfortunately January 1st actually is supposed to be the final week. However, because of these two holidays, I think that we will have the final exams on the 18th. Week 18. Okay, so I will explain by next week what will you need to do for your midterm exam. Okay, I think it's a presentation that's just like midterm that's gonna be fun. Okay? So only 2 or 3 weeks later we will have the final exam. Okay? And it's gonna be Tableau. Would like you to create a dashboard from Tableau. So we are in this week, and this week we will still use Tableau. Next week we will create a complete dashboard, and then what you need to do, you need to redo a similar thing and explain how to help the dashboard that you have created. Okay. So. Well, we will talk about it later on. Today we will talk about business performance management. So business performance management, or BPM, refers to the definition is how companies measure, monitor, and improve their performance to reach their business goals. So it includes processes, methods, and technologies that help companies understand how well they are doing and where they can improve. Okay, this pop up in my mind. So because we have the midterm early and final exam earlier, which is an 18. So please make sure that your attendance is okay. Okay. Let me ask about the good, the bad things is actually. So if we have it's supposed to be 17 weeks, right? And we have a 1/3 policy, right? So it's supposed to be you cannot skip 17 hours. But if our class is shorter, so the 1/3 of the attendance is also less than 17, right? Right? It's supposed to be, because I don't think that we can have if we have holiday, it says holiday, we cannot have the roll class, right? And it's illegal to have roll class. So 1/3 from the let me check. So we have how many weeks? 17 minus 2, 15. Right? So make sure that because so it means that your attendance, I know it's the maximum you can skip is 17 hours. This is because of the complete week is 17, but if the week is, how to say, compared to 15, the 1/3 from 15 is like this one. So you need to take care. 1/3 5. So the maximum you cannot skip 15 hours. Make sure you cannot skip it. You need to check by yourself, okay? Because we will have the shorter weeks because of the holiday. So 1/3 from 15 is.
I thought it was 18.
Huh?
I thought it was 18.
18 is because of these 17s.
Oh.
Because we have holiday, so it's 2 weeks holiday. So it means that the 1/3. So we all have 15 weeks. Because it's 25th and January 1st, the holiday, so week 16 and week 17 we don't have any class. So we cannot have a roll class. We cannot check the attendance. So only 15 weeks for this class. So 1/3 for 15 is 5 weeks, right? 5 multiplied by 3, 15. So please make sure that your attendance below 15. You need to make sure make sure. I'm afraid that some of the people doesn't know. I also didn't realize. Anyhow. So business performance management (BPM) that is how companies measure, monitor, and improve their performance to reach their business goals. It includes processes, methods, and technologies that help companies understand how well they are doing and where they can improve. So sometimes different companies use different names for this. Well, BPM, some company use CPM, or some other company use EPM. So BPM, CPM, EPM are the same things. So BPM stands for Business Performance Management. CPM stands for Corporate Performance Management. They usually used by the research firm like Gartner. The Gartner is another the company that uses this term. EPM stands for Enterprise Performance Management, used by Oracle, and SEM, Strategic Enterprise Management, or SEM, used by SAP. This is also software company. So BPM, CPM, EPM, SEM actually the same thing. The concept is the same. They just give the different names. Okay. But in general, business performance management is the most widely used and neutral term, so we will try to use that. Okay. So BPM typically includes three main things. First, integrated processes supported by technology. It connects financial and operational processes in a continuous cycle supported by software tools. And the goal setting, and the second things, the main important thing of BPM is they need to the goal setting and performance tracking. It helps companies set clear business goals and track their progress using performance measurement. The third important thing is core processes for planning and monitoring. So this includes activities like financial and operational planning, reporting data analysis, and monitoring key performance indicator or KPIs, and all aligned with the company's strategy. So in a BPM, there's three main things. First, integrated process supported by technology, goal setting, and performance tracking. And the third one is core processes for planning and monitoring. So this is the three main components of BPM. Now, there is Coca-Cola. How the Coca-Cola use BPM. So Coca-Cola, one of the world's largest beverage company, they use this BPM tools to monitor and improve its global performance. And then in the Coca-Cola, they also use BPM, and the integrated processes, Coca-Cola use advanced data system that integrate information from sales, production, marketing, and finance across all regions. So Coca-Cola, they have different departments like sales, production, marketing, finance. They all the data they integrate together and then have the summary data. So we call it integrated processes. The Coca-Cola about goal setting and tracking. The company or the Coca-Cola sets global strategic goals such as increasing sales in emerging markets and reduce water usage in production. It then uses BPM dashboard to track how each region or product line is performing against those targets. Okay, so in the term of goals, the Coca-Cola set big goals, and then, for example, the big goal is increasing sales in emerging markets. It means that every Coca-Cola have headquarters in every country, right? So it means that the goal to improve the sales not only in the US but in every country that have Coca-Cola factory, they would like to set the higher goal or the same goal. Planning and monitoring. So Coca-Cola uses KPIs such as first, sales growth by product category, market share in key countries, operational efficiency, the cost per unit produced, sustainability metrics like water and energy usage, and all of this information is collected, analyzed, and reported regularly using BPM, business performance software like SAP, EPM, and of course, the purpose is make the directors or the manager informed to make quick decisions. So this is the example of Coca-Cola company, like the business performance measurement, BPM. For example, like this one, they created a dashboard like what you create, you select what you create. They have a revenue, for example, the revenue, they say that the revenue is minus 1%, it means they lost some profit. And then there is a GAAP income, GAAP EPS, not GAAP, I don't really know what is GAAP, but I know the revenue. And then the major operating segment revenue, they say that, for example, like this one, there is a EM, I think it's EM, Arab, and then Latin America, North America, Asia Pacific, and then there is a bottom performance and global ventures. And you can see that only in the Latin America and North America, then the revenue is higher. So it means that they got a profit from Latin America and North America. While in Asia Pacific is Asian and Australia. They combine sometimes Asia Pacific. They have like a bad revenue. And even in the global venture, they also have minus 2%. So it means that not really good. Okay. So this is. They also have the several products. Like you see, there's a sparkling some water. They have a juice, dairy, and plant-based beverage. So I think Coca-Cola only have the Coca-Cola, but actually they have a lot of products. There's a juice, dairy, and plant-based beverage, water, and sport drinks, tea, and coffee. So you can see that all of them are minus. It means that the growth is not really good. But water, enhanced water, and sport drink, they have plus 2%. So it means that mainly nowadays consumers really focus on the healthy drinks. Okay, they are really focused on the healthy drinks. They are really trying to minimize to less consume and not healthy product. So this is the Coca-Cola company dashboard or business performance management. Okay. So this is another example, another company that have the BPM. Let's check the video.
Here, rather than setting arbitrary targets, we're able to house high-level targets in a limited number of forecast scenarios, where in-memory calculation is immediate feedback for analysis, and any actions that may need to be taken should that scenario. As we move from forecast scenario, we receive real-time answers about limitations when we report strategy or reorganization. These targets can then be distributed down throughout the organization, where planners can plan with level of granularity data, including any combination of geography, products, product, or any other possible mission. As planners plan, their targets remain in alignment with targets and we see any actions that may be taken as a result of changes in plan. These can include new sales targets, hiring plans, or utilization rates.
So I will stop here. So if you see all of this, we call it dashboard. But what is different between dashboard, visual dashboard, and the BPM? You see that BPM, business performance management, they only include the summary, the data about the performance and target. But what we did in the class, usually we not only talk about the target, but also about the data. For example, how many people, how many employee, how many female employee, how many man employee. But business performance management, they only focuses on the target and performance. You see that that's why in the business, from the name business performance, so they need to focus on the performance. For example, like whether the target is achieved or not. For example, the target is okay or the target is not okay. So business performance management needs to talk about the performance, the result of the performance, and also the target of the company. Okay, so it's totally different between general or the dashboard, but business performance management, the dashboard only tells the story about the business performance and the target, whether the target achieved or not. Okay. Okay. Now we're moving forward to the closed loop PPM cycle. So one thing that makes business performance management PPM different from other business is it focuses strongly on linking strategy to action, making sure what the company plans is actually carried out and improved over time. PPM follows a closed loop cycle, which means the process never ends. Once the company goes through one round of planning, execution, and review, they use the result to make improvement for the next round. So this, of course, to make sure continuous improvement. So in the PPM, not only talk about the performance target, but also need to talk about the action. What will you do next? So to achieve more target, what will you do next? So they say that if we call it closed loop cycle, which is that you need to not only show whether your target is achieved or not, but also you need to talk about how to get to the next level. Okay. So why is this called a closed loop? Because once the company acts and adjusts, they go back to the beginning, refining the strategies and plans based on new information. And it's an ongoing process of a plan, do, check, and improve. Similar to the continuous improvement models like PDCA or plan, do, check, and. So why they call it closed loop? Because in the business performance, you need to always be plan and then do, check, and improve. You need to check your target and also how to improve if it's not achieved, and then you need to what kind of action you can improve. So why then PPM is a closed loop cycle? Because PPM uses a closed loop cycle because business performance is never finished. So well, this is kind of annoying, like when your target is 1 million unit and then your boss you achieved 1 million. Let's add 1 million and 200. Okay, you achieve, and then let's how do you say, increase the target. So it's never ending. If you cannot achieve, maybe they will adjust. So this why we call this why, because we always never ending achieve the target. PPM use a closed loop cycle because the performance we always have a goal. So companies operate in environments that are always changing. Customer change, competitor change, technology changes, and internal processes also change. A closed loop ensures that company can continuously learn, adjust, and improve. Yes. First, the first step of the closed loop PPM cycle. First, strategy or strategize. Where do we want to go? Okay, so the company sets up its mission, vision, and long-term goal, and this usually involves top executive like the CEO and board of directors, because strategies usually created by the top managerial. the company might set a strategic goal to become the most sustainable sports brand by reducing its carbon emission by 50% over the next 5 years. This is also why we need to achieve the strategy, because the strategy goal usually set by the directors or the top manager. Okay? Now it's 9:31. Let's have attendance check first. Now it's 9:31. Let's have the check the attendance. So please get your QR code. For the first hour attendance. Jadi kamu akan kelas ini oke kan?
Oke sih.
Sebar berapa?
Absen
Pokoknya kurang dari kalau 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 kelas yang normal kan 17 minggu ya. Okay. What's the name? Which one? Which one? Oh, you don't see it. Hours, right? See? Yeah, because they don't know. It's a 14 hours. Hey, 14 hours. 14 hours.
11.
See?
Memory is going to get good.
Cái gần dòng sông anh kìa, kìa. Cái gần dòng sông anh. Kìa, kìa.
那个注意一下，就是因为今年礼拜四的课，12月25号跟1月1号是放假的， 所以那2周不算的话，我们的预警是14个小时。所以那个出缺勤比较严重的同学，记得注意一下，不要超过14个小时。如果是过了14个小时，你这堂课就是算
14
1%到60分。
因为
对。
因为这个25号还有1月1号我们有放假，所以比较短。所以 if you take another class in the Thursday, if you take another class in the Thursday, there should be
No.
every class that's already.
Every time is $40.
No.
Just only English or the art of life. Because English
No.
and the art of life we do just
It's on the Thursday, right? Only in Thursday, but the other days is okay.
No.
All?
All of the if the class is 3 hours, the system is 40 hours, and if it is 2 hours, it will be 9.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is right.
You took the money?
17.
Oh no, it's a warning threshold. So if you are in the 14, so it means that you get a warning. That is okay. So actually, this is still 18, though. Still 18. This is still 18. Still 18. So 17, but 17 you already finished. It's okay, but it's still safe. So UG is only, it means like if you're 14, I need to give you reminding. So, but actually you need to go to the Chaujurupun and Hijau one, 15 weeks. You need to in the break time. In the break time. No, so I'm sorry. So if it's like your Ashley said that the warning is 14, so it means that if you're already 14, you need to be careful. But hopefully, let me find out when Ashley find out in the academic division whether because of this type of 2 holiday affect the class attendance 1/3 policy. I'm just afraid that because it's 1/3, and then it's 1/3 from the 15 from the 15 is 5 weeks, so it's equal with 15 hours. I'm just afraid. Anyhow. Okay. So the first step of close, the second one, the second plan is how do we get there? Plan. Once the goals are clear, managers create detailed operational and financial plans. To achieve this includes deciding what project tactics and resources are needed. So, for example, a company may plan to use recycled material in 70% of its product and invest 200 million in eco-friendly manufacturing and partners with suppliers that meet strict environmental standards. Okay. 3. Monitor or analyze how are we doing. So the company tracks its performance using key performance indicator or KPI. So they focus only on the most important measures to avoid wasting time. For example, company might monitor KPIs like percentage of product made with sustainable materials, reduction in carbon emission, supplier compliance rate with environmental policies. Number 4, act and adjust. What do we need to do differently? So based on the result, the company takes action to fix problem or improve performance. This may involve changing tactics, reallocating resources, or starting new projects. For example, if company finds that some suppliers are not meeting sustainability standards, they might provide additional training, switch to the new supplier, or invest in technology to improve monitoring. Okay. So we need to, based on the results, so that if you need, the company need to do action, right? And of course, if they need to improve or make some action, they need to do another thing, which is, for example, changing the strategy, changing the tactics, reallocating resources or starting new project. Okay. This one. Performance measurement is a key part of business performance management. So, like when I say business performance management, there is a word of performance measurement. So, business performance measurement is like performance measurement is a key part of business performance management. Okay. That helps companies check if they are reaching their business goal by comparing actual results with targets. So BPM, most of the purpose is to compare whether you achieve the target or not. Okay. So of course, it's closely related with performance measurement. So why is performance measurement important? So you are, for example, if you are trying to lose some weight, if you never step on a scale, how would you know if your report are working? This is the same thing. If you would like, oh, I would like to, lost some weight, or I would like to gain some weight. So if you will not know whether you will lost some weight or gain some weight if you never step on a scale or body weight scale. This is the same logic applied in business. Without measuring performance, you can know if your plans are successful. So you need to always measure the performance of your business weekly, monthly, yearly. Okay? So all measurement is about comparison. For example, if a salesperson closed 50% of deal this month, is that good or is it bad? Yeah. If they closed 30% last year, it's an improvement, but the company average is 80%, they're still behind. So, for example, so you have a sales or salesman or your sales performance this year or this month is 50%. They already closed 50% of deals, so they reached 50% of the target. You may ask, is this good or bad? Okay, but the answer is it depends. It depends. You need to compare. You need to compare by the last month. If the last month or last year is 30%, of course it's good because it's improvement. But if the last month or last year the average is 80%, which is this year is 50%, it's it's not good because it's decrement. So they are still behind. So this is why performance measurement compare actual result to strategic goals or previous performance and industry benchmark. Okay. Now, when we are talking about the performance management, we also need to talk about KPI. Is this a very famous term? KPI, like if you working someday, they always talk about KPI, which is key performance indicator. Key performance indicator is the same with the goals or target. Okay? So key performance indicator are special because it's strategically important metric that show how well a company is doing in achieving its goal. Okay. So I have a video explaining about KPI. Let's check the video.
KPI is a commonly used business term that stands for Key Performance Indicator and means a measurable number, always has to be a number, used to track success. These quantifiable numbers or KPIs can come from someone filling out a form, records of reports, customer feedback, production logs, analytics, and many other methods. As an example, let's say a construction project manager is keeping track of important KPIs like project milestones, resource utilization, and project financials in order to have a successful project. Another example could be a car company setting KPI goals for its factories and vehicles to decrease emissions. The KPIs would then be tracked and reported on. Used in a sentence, you could say the marketing team's KPI for this quarter is to increase website traffic by 20%. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and use KPI in a real-world sentence below, and I will verify.
Okay. So usually KPI need to be a target or goal and then have the relevant concerned with or they have related with numbers. For example, I would like to improve. I would like to, for example, this one. The marketing team's KPI for this quarter is to increase website traffic by 20%. So usually KPI need to be very clear. For example, I need to have score for my final exam 90, okay, or I need to graduate on the fourth year. So usually KPI need to be very clear, very specific, and have the number. For example, I need to start work at 23 years old. So this is have numbers and very specific. So we call it KPI or key performance indicator. Okay. So feature of good KPI. So how to create a good KPI? So the good KPI or the good goal, they have need to be strategy linked, which is KPIs are connected to the company's big picture goal. Okay. So if the company goal is to become a worldwide company, so of course the KPI needs to achieve the goal, to align with the goal. Target. KPI need to be able to measure performance against specific and clear target. Like what I said, need to be clear by 20%, by 40%, and then need to sell 1 million unit or whatever. It should be have a numbers, very clear. Range, okay? They use color codes or level. For example, green or red. Okay, so good or bad. So green usually good, and red usually bad. But this is just color. You can identify color by yourself. Yellow or orange usually like how do you say it? Like a warning, monthly year. So time frames. KPI also need to have a time frame. So they show progress over a set period. For example, monthly or yearly. Benchmark. They need to compare results to past performance or industry standards. So, continue first. Well, there's several types of KPI. The first one is outcome KPIs or lagging indicators. So measure result of past action. For example, total revenue, profit margin, or market share. So this is another outcome of KPI. For example, total revenue, profit margin, market share. Okay. The driver of KPI is leading indicator. So measure activities that affect future outcome. For example, number of new sales leads, website traffic, and product defect. This is also the type of KPI. The example of operational metric that can be KPI. For example, another things. Aside the numbers, like aside the sales increase the sales 20% or decrease there's no decrease, always improve. Increase the sales 20%, increase the sell the product until 1 million units. So usually with numbers. But aside the number, you can set the operational goal by for example, another things, qualitative, another things. For example, customer performance. For example, customer satisfaction rate. For example, if a lot of people give a 5-star or 4 stars, so no 3 or below 3 stars. Okay, so customer satisfaction rate also can become the KPI. Complaint resolution time. So how many time needed to solve the complaint. And then service performance, product return rate. So if a lot of people buy the product and then suddenly return is not good, so product return rate also can be a target or KPI. On-time delivery, this is also can be a target of KPI. So, for example, if your company is sending a product, the maximum time is 3 days, but in the actual practice, they able to send on the, for example, 1 week. In 1 week, I don't think that is good. So, on-time delivery also can be a KPI. Sales operation, new accounts added, new accounts added, or sales conversion rate. Sales conversion rate means that how many people finally purchase or pay make a payment. Okay. The fourth one is forecast accuracy, so order fulfillment ratio or sales forecast accuracy. It means that it also can be a KPI, so it means that a lot of people order and then you can achieve the target, it's going to be KPI or sales forecast accuracy. If your sales forecast on next year is supposed to be have a more staggered, so if it's really happen, so it also can be a KPI. Okay. The example is a wide distribution case, distributor case. So a medium-sized wine distributor was struggling with a strong competition. Their suppliers were joining together, making it harder to get good deals, and their customer retailers were also merging, making the market tougher. To handle this, the company or the wine distributor company, the company focused on 4 important things. First, making sure they had enough stock available on time, it's inventory availability, reducing the number of orders that were still waiting to be delivered or outstanding orders, bringing in new customer or new accounts, and checking if their marketing was bringing good result or marketing ROI, return of investment. By focusing on these key areas, the company managed to increase its revenue by 12% in just 1 year. Okay? So this is how the KPI apply in the wine distributor case. Okay? Abdullah, any question? Okay, if there's no question, we can take break for 10 minutes and come back later.